I took away from that discussion, what I know, I suppose, that the whole food issue is a very complicated one. It's a very complicated one in Britain, which, had its food culture destroyed during the Industrial Revolution. And we're trying to rebuild a food culture. That's what we're really talking about. We are suffering terrible problems from having an industrialized food system, obesity, public health problems, all the things that got aired around the table. And what can we do? And as someone said, if we go on doing the same things that we've always done, nothing will ever change. And I find myself in an odd position because I'm a food journalist. I've been covering the politics of food for nearly 30 years. And, I know the problems sort of inside out. And I realize, I often sound like a harbinger of doom. But there are many, many reasons to feel optimistic. That discussion was one reason to feel optimistic. There was a wide range of people around that table with very interesting ideas and very interesting concerns. And, a lot of energy going into thinking about what we can do and how we can work with government and how we can work from the bottom up. And I'm in the middle of judging the BBC Food and Farming Awards, which the food programme, which is where I work, set up in 2000. And we had thousands of nominations this year, and I've been working on the producer category. And you could not go through those hundreds of nominations in that category and not feel optimistic, because what you can see are these young entrepreneurs going into the food business. And you can remember that 10, 15 years ago, young people were not going into food. People were going, oh, that's finished, the farming age is 60 plus, and bakers are going out of business and butchers. And that's not true now. The reason that there aren't more butchers on the high street is that there aren't enough trained butchers. The one training course in East Anglia is overbooked for months. And you got all these young people moving into setting up bakeries. All these entrepreneurial young people want to go into food. Why do they want to go into food? Because they've grasped that it matters. Perhaps the government doesn't grasp it, but I think a lot of people are grasping it. And so, as Emerson said, optimism is really, it's the only position to take, isn't it? Being a pessimist doesn't get you anywhere. So this evening's discussion made me feel, reinforced my own latent optimism.